watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Business Access TV welcomes you to the Courtly Hotel in New Kingston, Jamaica for the Technological Solutions Limited cocktail reception, as well as the opening of their SQF training. I am Tamar McHale. Stay tuned for the highlights.
A very, very warm welcome to you all. I am Earl Patrick. I'm the acting board chairman of Technological Solutions Limited. And my task this evening is to guide you through this evening's proceedings. We have representatives in our audience from various countries in the region: Barbados, Suriname, Trinidad, United States, can't think of any other, but what it does, it represents who we are. A company that transcends Jamaica and tries to spread its wings throughout the region, selling quality and selling good standards for consumers around the region and the world. Before we go any further, I think what we are doing here this week is a absolutely fantastic thing with the seminar, the series of seminars we're running, to ensure that companies in the region, including Jamaica, get themselves into world quality, world standards, to ensure we can meet the stringent requirements of consumers around the world for Jamaican products.
Thank you all for coming to this important event. It's we're also celebrating, Global Standards Day, and what better way to do that at the start of a training session that we're doing this week on a global standard. So in this case, a global standard for food safety called SQF. And as a senior technical representative to them, that's my job this week. And I see a number of my participants here today. I told them they couldn't come here and boo-hoo me and tell me that I'm not a lousy trainer or anything like that. So you can't do that. Not yet. Not until at the end, because remember, I still have to mark your exams and stuff. So it's okay. I still have that over you. No, we're good. We're good. So what we're doing this week is training people on the SQF code of food safety. What it's all about in terms of both understanding and implementing it, but most important, what it's like to learn to audit it, to become an auditor towards that. Because what SQF is a what we call a certified program owner. We are a standards owner. We don't certify, but we develop the standards which are benchmarked against the Global Food Safety Initiative, so that becomes the global part. So that's, from the food safety perspective, that's a very distinct and small world, but one that subscribes to accredited independent third-party audits that allow for the certification of products right from the gate to the plate, the farm to the fork, as they say. That allows for then buyers worldwide to be able to buy and move product globally with the assurance that from a food safety perspective, those products are safe and that they meet regulation in both the country of origin and the country of destination. And that's a very important part in terms of trade. And so SQF is very pleased to have entered into a licensing agreement with TSL, relatively new. TSL will be the first Caribbean-based licensed training center for SQF. We have over 32 that are based around the world. We are the #1 food safety management system certification standard in North America. And as such, we really see that the Caribbean and other types of markets that TSL serves as an extension of that, and obviously important to ensure that the SQF brand, the auditors, the certification bodies that are providing the audit, because we don't provide the certification. That'll be TSL's job. What we're doing this week is making sure that there is a resource pool of auditors. This is the first step for them for becoming registered SQF auditors. It's not easy. They have to have years of experience, audit experience, to be able to audit against that code, so that when the certification is given, now that certification and certificate, it's a public entity. It's on the SQF website. It'll be a certificate with the SQF brand, with the TSL brand, with the brand of the accreditation body that will be looking on oversight in TSL. And that provides assurance in the marketplace to the brand owners globally that those sites have earned it, and that on an annual basis they will have to maintain it and earn that certificate to keep that certificate, that TSL will be in charge of distributing and also pulling it and suspending, withdrawing it if those sites don't maintain it. So there's a lot of credibility around that, around accredited third-party audits that SQF participates in, which does support obviously the Global Standards Day and the use of global standards and trade, and what that can do with the assurances that food safety, as consumers, we all expect that. We go to the marketplace, we go to the restaurant, we go to the retail when we're buying that product, whether it's here in the Caribbean and Jamaica or it's in North America, and it's product coming from Jamaica, we're expecting that to be safe. And so this training is about learning how to audit. I'm not here to teach them about HACCP or food safety. They're supposed to already know that. Right? But I am teaching them how to interpret that, how to look for those risks and hazards, how to write a audit report that then can be shared with their buyers, and a certificate that's earned and maintained, and ensuring that for that site and what they make, they understand food safety, they understand the risks and hazards, they're managing it. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, because food safety is never 100%, but they're staying up to date, they're staying current. They're learning the technologies that change. The auditors are learning that and applying that and challenge those sites to say, show me that you know what the SQF code and the good food safety practices that are expected globally are being done here, so that your buyers can do that too. So very pleased to be here to continue to build that resource pool in the Caribbean, in North America, so that they can be available to TSL and their certification body to then provide that service in the Caribbean and beyond, and ensure that those products that are being exported and consumed locally are safe products. So thank you very much for your time, and pleasure to be here for the week.
So I was looking at your profile earlier, and you have quite a wealth of experience. I understand over 30 years in the industry. Tell us about your experience. I understood that you started out at Kellogg's.
I did, yeah. So, graduating in chemistry, and then got a job right directly in the food business. I don't think that was my intent, but it's where I landed. And so, learning a lot with Kellogg's on food safety and quality solutions. So, transitioned from there primarily into the service area of that, and primarily in the auditing, consulting, and training element. Again, servicing food and beverage industry, primarily in Canada at the time, but then going into the U.S. and down into the Caribbean, where I had first met Dr. Gordon with TSL.
Okay, great. So you are here in Jamaica, as you mentioned, in terms of what you're doing. What are some of the courses that you'll be offering? Yeah,
primarily as an SQF representative, we offer the SQF lead auditor training, and so that creates the opportunity and the resources for auditors in the region that can audit against SQF and be possibly employed or contracted by Dr. Gordon through his organization, TSL Certification Services, which is now the first Caribbean-based licensed certification body for SQF.
How critical is it for companies in the manufacturing sector to be certified and have the relevant, training?
Well, it's so for the sites themselves, and at the training program, we have both individuals that are looking to be lead auditors and SQF auditors, but we also have a lot from industry that are learning about the SQF code and the importance of implementing, and more importantly, the importance of controlling their food safety aspects, because it can be, if not done properly, a big risk to their businesses, and it is sometimes a barrier for entry into other markets and foreign markets, and the U.S. being a large market for that. The SQF certification does create an opportunity for getting into those new markets.
I'm now with Lanelle Black, and she is the Quality Assurance Manager for the East Caribbean Group of Companies. Tell us a bit about your company, Ms. Black.
Well, our company is located in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We manufacture flour, feeds, rice, carbonated soft drink under the brand Juicy. We have one energy drink by the name of Village Ram, and also one bottled water under the brand of Island Sips.
Interesting name, Village Ram. How did you come up with that name?
Well, it's not me. I did not come up with the name, but because of its content, I believe it has yohimbe extract, yohimbe, honey, goatweed, and some other aphrodisiac, which is known to help with, impotence and other things like that.
I'm sure that's a bestseller.
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay, so tell us how Technological Solutions Limited has helped your company.
Well, we are pursuing certification in SQF intermediate level at this moment, and we also want to implement our HACCP principles. So we have engaged the service of Dr. Gordon, and he has been helping us along the way to gain our certification. We are about the middle of the process, so very soon we will be complete and be audited, and hopefully we'll be certified.
Okay, and how has the training so far been for you?
The training is very good. We don't have that training at home because, as Dr. God indicated, it's the first in the Caribbean. Food safety is not really a big thing at home either. There would be a few companies who have it, the certification, but not as much as we would expect. So it is very good, to be honest, very educational. The knowledge we gain here definitely would go a far way back home, because I don't think we have any SQF auditors on the island as such. So it would be a great asset to our company and to the country as a whole.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Audley Shaw, the indefatigable Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries and Investment, our Minister. And Dr. Andre Gordon, CFS, Chairman and CEO of TSL. Mr. Frank Scher, who I've just met, who is a Safe Quality Food Institute Senior Representative we have here today. Distinguished guests from far and wide, welcome to Jamaica. We're really glad to have you with us. And I'm really happy to be able to celebrate with you the World Standards Day with Technological Solutions Limited. I'm particularly honored to be invited to be present here today because of JAMPRO's advocacy role in establishing standards for Jamaican products, and also to celebrate TSL's role in creating a real opportunity for Jamaican products to attain market access in the most demanding markets around the world, and they absolutely have been a tower of strength in doing that. I also am here partly because of my admiration for one Dr. Andre Gordon, who I know likes to remain in the background, but has been such a tremendous advocate for quality in Jamaica and for quality standards. Without Dr. Gordon, most Jamaican products would not be in the international market today. He has done some pioneering work on getting ackee into the US market against real stiff odds at a time when ackee was considered to be a poisonous fruit that those strange people in the Caribbean eat. I know he has done tremendous work with that. So TSL really is synonymous with standards. And the fact that they have just forged this partnership with SQFI to be their licensing arm in the Caribbean, I think deserves a huge round of applause, and big up to Dr. Gordon. We also welcome the staging of the 2 training sessions that you're going to be present at during this week, because I think it's really critical in terms of the increasing demands of quality standards in the international market, that all our products from the so-called developing world really attain high standards. You know, Jamaica is a producer of high-quality, world-class niche products. When you pick up a bag or a sack or a box of Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee, you know what you're getting. When you open a can of ackee, you know what you're getting. When you sample and sip and hopefully savor and not overdrink from the well of the Jamaica rum, Appleton Estate, and we now have other rival rums on the market, you know that you are getting products of true quality. And I think that's really the embodiment of what we're celebrating here today. Each year, as you know, the members of the International Electrotechnical Commission, the International Organization for Standardization, better known as ISO, and the International Telecommunications Unit celebrate today, the 14th of October, as the day in which we recognize the importance of standards in our lives. Standards are critical. As someone like me who has lived for a long time in the metropolitan markets and who has seen the havoc wrought by E. coli, Listeria, Salmonella, and other food viruses, foodborne viruses, we really have to be grateful to companies like TSL because they have kept us safe from some of those foodborne diseases. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention in the US estimates that each year 1 in 6 Americans, that's 48 million people, get sick from foodborne diseases, and 3,000 of them die of foodborne diseases. So I think that's just a couple of statistics to show you the importance of standards and how important it is that we all understand and apply those standards. So as a Government of Jamaica's Investment and Export Promotion Agency, that's what JAMPRO is, and the leading marketing agency of Jamaica's business mandate, JAMPRO really just wants to take this opportunity to support TSL in its endeavors in developing its mandate to ensure that clients in agriculture, agro-processing, food service, hospitality, exporting, manufacturing, and distribution industries meet the demanding consumer requirements in global markets. This is absolutely critical for us to move forward. TSL has been a stalwart partner with JAMPRO in co-hosting a number of workshops on market access requirements and disseminating the understanding of quality and of quality standards that we need if we are going to really take our rightful place on the international market in the field of exports. So TSL, I would say, is a pioneer in making standards matter, and standards absolutely do matter. They're what keeps us safe. So thanks very much for listening, and have a wonderful week learning all you can about standards from Mr. Schurz.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this our cocktail reception in honor of World Standards Day and this pioneering workshop, which marks the second collaboration on a workshop that we have had with the SQF Institute. Minister, thank you so much for agreeing to be with us. Other members of the head table, Diane, thank you for your very kind words. Frank, you were brief and to the point, really appreciate it. And the Master of Ceremonies wants to make sure we can hear what the minister has to say quickly, so I won't detain you too much further. I do want to recognize some important partners that are here with us and whose presence we appreciate. I've seen Ms. Sharon May Shirley, the head of JANAC, come in. NCBJ is also represented here. Thank you. Dr. Greg Robin, who is the head of CARDI. I don't know why nobody is sitting beside Greg. Why have you sitting by yourself? Who is the head of the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute in Jamaica and also responsible for research across the Caribbean, is here. Last year we partnered quite significantly with CARDI on a coconut project. And partnerships are at the heart of what we do. So it's really warming for my heart to see so many persons from the standards sector here. We regard TSL as a family. We do have a family approach, and we want our clients as well and the persons who are attending to get that feeling. You know, it has been a great coup for us to have Mr. Schurz, or Frank as I call him, who is not just a presenter. Frank is one of the top people in SQF. He's one of the drivers of the standard. for a Canadian, he's extremely modest. I don't know how that works because I don't know too many modest Canadians.
You never see me in a corner.
But he's extremely modest. He was involved in the issue number 8.1, and is already working on issue 9 for the SQF standard that is going to be coming out. So we are really pleased to have this partnership with SQF International, both on training and as their first certification body in this part of the Americas. 2 months ago, we were also thrilled to partner with bioMérieux out of France to bring cutting-edge technology to Jamaica in the form of a polymerase chain reaction technology. And you will hear about more of these partnerships as we extend the kind of product and service offerings that we want the entire productive sector in the Caribbean to be able to access. We are committed at TSL to the making standards live for us in driving the productive sector in the Caribbean forward in being competitive in our own markets and in the global markets in which we intend to participate. You know, as part of this, one of the things we've done is document our experience with the agreement of several of our customers, and this represents another partnership. And I just advised President of JAMPRO and Minister will be making a gift to them of our first book, which captures what Diane spoke about, the whole story, the approach in which we partnered with the Bureau of Standards and several other government and private entities to get Ackes back into the US market. On the next book that we have coming out, I'm pleased to say that Rick, Helen, and other team members, Rochelle, where's Rochelle, from TSL, have partnered on the writing of that book, as well as our colleagues from US, from the Food and Drug Administration, from Sweden, and many other countries. Partnerships are the heart of what we do. And over the years, we've worked quite closely with the standards sector as we mark World Standards Day to train persons in the bureaus of standards throughout the region. We were instrumental in helping many of the small bureaus of standards get set up. We worked closely with the Bureau of Standards in Suriname, literally throughout the entire Caribbean. So we see it as an apt and fitting coincidence that this workshop is being opened on World Standards Day, as the president of JAMPRO has mentioned. You know, as some of you may be aware, TSL is in an expansion mode. And later on this year, Minister, you may be interested. Later on this year, you will hear other things. We have other partnerships. But early in the new year, TSL will avail itself of that opportunity that you, as Minister, fought so hard to retain, and that is access to the Jamaica Junior Stock Exchange. Minister, that is probably the one of the most significant contributions that they will remember Audley Shaw for as Minister of Finance. Many people do not understand how important it is for companies that have existed for a while to be able to access capital to grow.
The global economy, of course, is standards-driven. And we've got to get on that bandwagon. And that's what you have been leading with. Our ascension in the global marketplace must be driven by standards, quality. And standards must become the norm for us and the center of every transaction, local and global. So in this global economy, the acceptance of our goods and services depend on an infrastructure that is built on internationally recognized standards and an accreditation-based conformity assessment system that satisfies international requirements. So I want to take the opportunity to applaud Dr. Gordon and his team on the tremendous work that you have been doing in transforming organizations and companies to deal with the practical realities of competing and exporting in a globalized business environment. I want to commend you also on the pivotal role you have been playing over the years in providing a comprehensive range of technical services to support the productive sector in Jamaica and in the region. The consumer goods industry has been undergoing significant transformation. Changes in consumer behavior, the availability of new technologies, shifts in buying power are all combined reshaping the industry's supply chain. At the same time, manufacturers and retailers are being challenged to redefine the way they operate and collaborate with each other, as well as with their trading partners. This means that standards must be embedded into new process areas to meet consumer and industry expectations. Locally, Jamaica's growth strategy is premised on export-led growth. We were there before, we have to go back there, right? And we've got to get to serious export growth, and a part of that is the export of food, not just fresh, but processed. So it's an opportunity for us to move. You know, it is, so my mother used to tell me that in every crisis and in every adversity, there's a seed of greater benefit. Our adversity has been some of what I described to you before, and then the decline in traditional industries like sugar. But guess what? The seeds of opportunities are there. We are importing soursop puree and mango puree. I make soursop juice and mango juice. And you go in the supermarket and buy it. And we are stressed out with idle lands and idle hands in Jamaica. That makes sense? And then we have to just hold on to the promise of sugarcane and say, Lord, 200 years ago we had it, make we can't have it again. Right? We have to move on. We're not saying we're abandoning sugar, but we are now in the midst of a major rationalization program to plant other things, yes, including mango orchards. And yes, we've started exporting mangoes back to the United States again. In June of this year, we started. In June of this year. After a 20-year break. And let me tell you something, they've never had hands to sell the mangoes in the United States. Julie, East Indian mangoes is what we sent in. And there's so many other things that we can do and we will have to do. And the good news, folks, is that we have no shortage of interest among investors to go the path of agriculture and agro-processing. And so we've heard of Gassanasan recently, over 400 acres to be developed on the Bernard Lodge estate. And by the way, most of it will remain in agriculture and will be involved in a mother-farm relationship working with small farmers as well, with guarantee that what they produce, helping them with technology to maximize their production, guaranteeing that when they produce, they will have a sale for it. And the agro-industrial sector and the agro-processing sector is gearing up. Grace Kennedy is building a facility at Denby. They are already at Hounslow in St. Elizabeth. National Meats, the old National Meats, now Lidford Logistics, Richard Lake, is not just selling fresh, but going to process and target the export markets. Jam processors in Williamsfield in Manchester, they export about 6 containers of Via Loyams per week right now to the United States and England. They want to start food processing as well. Even traditional importers like Rainforest and CPJ, they want to get into the value-added chain as well. And with all of this, the technology that is afforded with this company will all be relevant in the aggressive build-out of the agro-processing sector.
So I'm here with Minister Audley Shaw, and he's of course the Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries. And it's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so Technological Solutions Limited, they are celebrating 23 years this year. What do you make of this achievement, especially in this manufacturing sector, and what they have done for the manufacturing sector?
Well, I think it's really significant what they have done, because we have no hope to penetrate the international markets on a sustainable basis and expand that penetration without stepping up to global levels of technology. And that's what TSL is doing. So they are guiding our companies that, listen, you have to have standards down here, and you have to have those standards at international levels. And so I really want to congratulate them on this pursuit of such an important area, because technology is one of the drivers of global wealth creation and mass production. So I'm very happy for the company, and my hope is that they'll grow from strength to strength, not just in Jamaica, but for the entire Caribbean region.
And we see a number of companies over the years that have struggled to, get their products onto the global market. They have helped companies to do that. What advice would you give to companies who want to venture into this arena in terms of the standards that they require?
My advice to the companies is, once you're targeting the export markets, don't even think about it. You put a plan in your business plan. You must have a segment to engage a company like Dr. Gordon's company, so that you are putting up in place a platform that guarantees success in international market penetration. And then accompanying the technology solutions that he provides is you now have the opportunity through the Junior Stock Exchange to raise money at reasonable interest rates and on an equity basis. And in some cases, it's not just the stock exchange, but we now have banks that are lending money at 5% and 6% interest rates, single digits. And so get formal, get transparent, access low-cost money, and importantly, access technology for market penetration.
Awesome. My last question to you, Minister Shaw. At the end of the day, persons want to excel on the global stage in terms of their businesses, in terms of manufacturing. But at the end of the day, we just mentioned in terms of the obstacles that companies face and how companies like TSL help them to overcome it. But what last advice would you give to companies who are struggling to just make it, in Jamaica?
My advice to them would be, don't suffer in silence. As Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, the merging of these ministries of industry and agriculture, which was the brainchild of our Prime Minister, right? It's still a work in progress. But what I want to say to entrepreneurs who want to excel in their business enterprises, whether on the local or the international market, if you're bucking up with bureaucratic humbug and obstacles, find a straight path to my office, right? And we're going to get rid of the bureaucracy, because we have got to make it easier to do business in Jamaica and easier to penetrate the markets of the world.
I'm now joined by Dr. Andre Gordon, CEO, Technological Solutions Limited. He's the man in charge. Good to have you.
Thank you so much for having us and for having BATV here.
And congratulations on all your achievement. I understand it's 23 years. Tell us about that journey.
23 years has been an interesting journey. TSL was set up to help drive the competitiveness of the productive sector in Jamaica and the Caribbean. So that's the heart of what we do. We say we are science-driven, customer-focused, and excellence-driven. So basically what we do is, whether it's manufacturing, exports, agriculture, food service, hospitality, or importing and distribution, we help them apply science, knowledge, and technology to make their businesses competitive. We demystify science and translate it into practical, implementable programs and training and develop products for all of these sectors and help them get their products into the markets that they want to get them into.
Awesome. We heard throughout the presentation, you being lauded, your company being lauded for bringing back Aki into the United States. What sort of cutting-edge technology does TSL have?
Well, we have over the years prided ourselves on having colleagues around the world who are regarded as experts in their area. We ourselves have some people who are regarded as experts in our area. So what we try to do is we've used electron microscopy, predictive modeling, thermal processing. We do accelerated shelf life. We help companies verify or prove that their existing traditional processes meet the requirements of importing markets. Most recently, we brought what is called polymerase chain reaction, PCR, DNA-based technology in to reduce the analytical time for tests that are done down from like 10 days to 1 day. And so we are rolling out this technology that we will use to service a range of different sectors of the industry so that we will be able to provide companies here with the same kind of analytical service that they would get if they were in New York or Canada or anywhere. So those are just some of the technologies, but most of our technology is knowledge-based. What we try to do is understand their requirements, understand the requirements of the specific market they're going in, and work out a program as to how do we help them get in that market with products that they can get a premium price for. And that's what we work at doing in Jamaica and throughout the entire Caribbean.
Awesome. In addition to today's cocktail reception for in observance of World Standards Day, I understand that there is a training as well.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that training which is happening.
Okay, so we, amongst many of the things we do, we pioneered the concept of food safety and quality systems in the Caribbean, working with another partner, Caribbean Export, in 1997. And then after that, we applied that to getting Aki's back into the US market, getting Jamaica's conch back into the EU market, and a range of other things. This latest partnership is with the Safe Quality Foods Institute that's based in the US. It's owned by the Food Marketing Institute. And what they do is they have a standard that guarantees that once people get certified to that standard, all of the food, agricultural produce, distribution systems will comply with the highest levels of quality and safety. So this particular training program is having persons who wish to be able to implement and audit to that standard become trained and certified so that our certification body, TSL Certification Services International, will be able to have auditors of the highest level of competence, in addition to the ones that we also have that come from overseas. We want auditors from the region who understand our culture so they can interpret the international standards in a culturally sensitive context and help our companies comply.
Awesome. Wonderful work. My last question for you. I understand recently you received one of the Jamaica Manufacturer Exporters Association Awards.
Yes.
What was that award for? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. We actually received 2 awards.
Okay.
We received an award as the champion exporter because amongst many other things, we've been growing our export. TSL is a service exporter. We have been exporting our services for over 20 years. We started in 96 and we started exporting in 97, our services. So we are one of the largest service exporters in our category. So we won the Service Exporter Award. More importantly, we won the Best Support Service Award, which is named after Pauline Gray, who is one of our founding directors, the former executive director of the Jamaica Exporters Association. And that award says that we are the best support service provider to the manufacturing and export sector for 2018. And it's an award we've won before, but this time was special because this award was named after one of our directors. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Gordon. Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you very much. And I'm really happy that BATV, that we've had BATV come for this. I watch BATV. Excellent, excellent programming and channel.
I'm now joined by Charles Byrt, Regional Marketing Manager for Jamaican Teas. Good to have you here with us at Business Access TV.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so tell us about how Technological Solutions Limited has helped your company.
Well, Technological Solutions has been a very important partner for us at Jamaican Teas. As you know, we produce Caribbean Dreams branded tea bags and Tetley teas for the entire region and indeed North America, the United Kingdom, and of course the entire Caribbean. And in order for us to do that, we have to uphold a number of standards. Technological Solutions has been an important partner in helping us to become HACCP certified, which is Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Points, which is a food safety-based system. And also they are working with us in also getting into safe quality food certification. Without them, 26% of our export revenues, which is represented by the US market, would not exist, because you cannot export to the US as it is today without some kind of third-party certification in food safety. And Technological Solution has helped us to maintain that market and in terms of our access to it. Without that, then that would be a big blow for us as a country, as a company. And as you know, they say export or die. At Jamaican Teas, that's what we live by, because we're a net export company. Over 50% of our revenues is exports. So we generally have to do what we're doing by global standards, have these third-party certifications, and even the testing that goes along to verify and to guarantee that the processes that we have in-house actually work. Then Technological Solutions play an important role. So we are very happy to be here and support them today. We're also part of the training that's going on for SQF, and we just want to say congratulations to SQF and the team. They're doing a very fantastic job.
Okay, great. My final question to you, you just listed the benefits of how Technological Solutions and having the requisite standards has helped your company. How critical, what's your advice that you would give to other budding, entrepreneurs or other companies out there that, they need to have the requisite standards and qualification, especially in the food safety sector?
Well, the fact is, we're not, we're an island, but we can't stand alone. And for us to survive as a country, the minister said it, we have to look outward and to go back to the days when export was a big part of Jamaica's economy. For us to be able to be successful and competitive at that, and for industries and organizations to grow, then there must be standards. In whatever industry you're in, there must be standards. And so for young entrepreneurs or other entrepreneurs, even those in the packaging industry, I find that's something that we don't pay much attention to. But more and more, those companies in Jamaica that provide packaging that goes close to the food and so forth, they think of themselves as not being a part of this whole chain of standards, particularly when it comes to guaranteeing safe food. They too have to see the importance. Anything you're doing, there are standards. And not because we at home and at yard say, so it go. No. We all operate in this global village. And whatever good here or good over there, it must be one thing, and we must all work together at it. And that is why standards are important. So not about to run on your own, but seek the partnership where you can get it.
So tell us about your partnership with TSL.
Okay, we have partnered with them over a 2-year period. And what they have helped us to do is grown exponentially in producing safe quality food to meet the export market. Since then, we have been audited by FDA and we have not violated any regulation. Yes, our staff have been mentored from ground up, from top down, and right across the board. So we have partnered with them and we're looking forward now in becoming HACCP certified, which is another main, that is our core objective with Technological Solution. Because when we're HACCP certified, it means big things for Virginia Dairy. We can now export our product straight to the US and we know that the quality is of high standard. And persons buying from our company, meaning all the other lucrative business and big businesses buying from Virginia Dairy, meaning that they can rest assured that the quality is of a high standard. So in this month, we'll be doing our preliminary exercise with the TSL, and going forward, we're getting by November of this year, we should and shall be and will become HACCP certified. And Virginia Dairy Jamaica Limited is known in the business world as a flavor industry. And we have brought on our flagship product in recent, where we do fragrances that deals with, take care of persons who work in the fabric softener, dishwashing liquid, car fragrances, etc. And then we have our cordials, which is one of our baby, and we pride that. Why we pride that is because the sorrel that is now in Jamaica is a booming thing, and Virginia Dairy was there from the start, where we basically harvest the sorrel from our farmers and sell it back to the big companies, and they bring it to another consumable portion. And we are pride ourselves in that area, and now to know that we can now just sell this product from just Jamaica to anywhere in the island, anywhere in the Caribbean, anywhere in the world, because we're HACCP certified. We can't wait for that day.
Amazing.
And we're so happy to be partnered with Dr. Gordon, TSL family, and we are here to support them on this monumental achievement for them.
Congratulations, a passionate Nicole Gracie-Mondo, Operations Manager for Virginia Dairy Jamaica Limited. Thanks for tuning into Business Access TV's coverage of the cocktail reception of Technological Solutions Limited, as well as the opening of their SQF training. I'm Tamara McHale for Business Access TV, serious about business.